4 dangerous vitamins you should never take and 4 you must take daily. If you're over 65, you could be taking the wrong vitamins, and it's not just a waste, it's dangerous. New studies show that 99% of seniors don't know 4 common supplements are linked to stroke, blood clots, organ damage, and early death. In fact, some of the most popular ones on pharmacy shelves right now are silently triggering blood clots, nerve damage, high calcium buildup, and even premature death in older adults. But here's the twist. One overlooked vitamin could actually add years to your life and rebuild lost muscle by 46%, according to jaw-dropping clinical research. In this video, we're revealing the 4 vitamins you should never take after 65, ranked from least to most dangerous, and the 4 you must take daily to stay strong, sharp, and protected. And the number 1 vitamin you'll hear at the end. One study found that seniors who took it daily cut their risk of early death by 34%. We'll get to that one soon, but first, before we dive in, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from. What supplements do you take every day? We're reading and replying to every comment, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now, without any further ado, let's jump straight into the 4 dangerous vitamins that seniors over 65 should never take, starting with the one that seems harmless but could quietly be damaging your health every single day. Number 4. Vitamin A in retinol form. Vitamin A is one of the most misunderstood supplements on the shelf. It's essential for vision, immune health, and skin regeneration, but it becomes dangerous fast when taken in the wrong form or at the wrong dose. After 65, your liver becomes less efficient at processing stored forms of vitamin A like retinol and retinol palmitate. These are the forms most commonly found in multivitamins and standalone capsules. The problem is they're fat-soluble, which means your body doesn't flush out the extra. Instead, it stores it. And over time, that buildup becomes toxic. A 2018 study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 25,000 seniors and found that those who took high-dose vitamin A in retinol form had a 26% higher risk of bone fractures and a 17% increased risk of liver damage compared to those who got their vitamin A from food alone. The excess retinol weakens bone density, making you more likely to suffer a fracture after a fall, a major danger for seniors. And when combined with other medications that are also metabolized in the liver, vitamin A toxicity can build silently without obvious symptoms until it's too late. If you're over 65, the safest way to get vitamin A is through beta-carotene-rich foods like sweet potatoes, carrots, and leafy greens. Your body can convert beta-carotene to vitamin A only as needed, so there's no risk of toxic buildup. But avoid supplements that list retinol or retinol palmitate as the primary form of A, especially if you're already getting it through fortified cereals, dairy, or liver-based foods. You don't need more, and you definitely don't want extra sitting in your tissues. Vitamin A may seem harmless, but for seniors, it can quietly damage bones, overwhelm the liver, and increase your risk of falls and fatigue. It's a perfect example of how something helpful in small doses becomes harmful with age. If your multivitamin lists this form of A near the top, it might be time to toss the bottle and give your body a safer, food-based upgrade instead. Number 3. Vitamin E synthetic form. Vitamin E is widely advertised as a heart-healthy antioxidant, and many seniors still take it daily hoping it will protect against memory loss or cancer. But here's what most don't know. The synthetic form of vitamin E, commonly labeled as DL-alpha tocopherol, has been linked to serious health risks in people over 65. Unlike the natural version, which your body recognizes and uses efficiently, the synthetic form is poorly absorbed and lingers in your system, throwing off the balance of other critical nutrients, especially vitamin K, which helps regulate clotting. A massive 2011 meta-analysis published in the Cochrane Database of Systematic Reviews analyzed data from 118,000 people and found that vitamin E supplements increased the risk of death by 4%, especially in older adults taking more than 400 international units per day. Another study from the Journal of the American Medical Association tracked 35,000 men over several years and discovered that synthetic vitamin E supplementation actually increased prostate cancer risk by 17%. What's worse, many over-the-counter multivitamins still contain this cheap synthetic version because it's inexpensive to produce and has a long shelf life. For seniors already on blood thinners, synthetic vitamin E becomes even more dangerous. It interferes with the way your blood clots, increasing the chance of bruising, internal bleeding, and hemorrhagic stroke. This risk multiplies if you're taking aspirin, warfarin, or any medication that affects platelet function. And because most seniors have thinning blood vessels and slower healing responses, that small risk becomes a much bigger threat with age. If you're over 65, your best bet is to ditch any supplement containing DL-alpha tocopherol and get your vitamin E from natural food sources like sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocados. These foods offer a full spectrum of tocopherols and tocotrienols, forms of vitamin E that work together safely and effectively. If supplementation is absolutely necessary, look for D-alpha tocopherol only and always in low doses under medical supervision. Vitamin E has a reputation for being heart healthy, but in the wrong form and dose, it can quietly turn into a clotting nightmare. It's one of the clearest examples of how synthetic doesn't mean safe, especially for seniors with fragile vessels and overlapping medications. Double-check your labels, because this one simple switch could save you from a silent, deadly mistake. Number 2. Iron. Iron is a crucial mineral when you're younger. It helps your blood carry oxygen and supports energy production. But after age 65, iron supplements can quickly become more harmful than helpful, especially if you're not iron deficient. That's because your body no longer regulates iron storage as efficiently, and excess iron gets deposited into tissues where it causes inflammation, oxidative stress, and even organ damage. The danger grows quietly, and most seniors have no idea it's happening. A 2013 study published in Circulation found that seniors with high levels of stored iron had a 36% higher risk of heart failure, even if their iron levels were considered normal on basic blood tests. The problem lies in ferritin, your body's iron storage protein. In older adults, ferritin can rise due to age or inflammation, and adding more iron on top of that can overwhelm the liver and heart. This leads to tissue damage, insulin resistance, and an increased risk of stroke and heart disease, particularly for those who aren't regularly screened for iron overload. Iron supplements are often still included in multivitamins, especially those marketed as complete or for energy support. But unless you've been diagnosed with anemia and specifically advised by your doctor, iron has no place in your daily routine after 65. The risk is even higher for men, postmenopausal women, and anyone with a history of liver issues, heart problems, or metabolic disorders. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that flush out easily, iron accumulates, and once it's there, it's hard to get rid of. If your goal is to support energy or circulation, there are safer ways. B12, folate, and magnesium support red blood cell health without the toxic side effects. If your doctor recommends iron, ask for a ferritin test first. If your levels are above 100 nanograms per milliliters, extra iron could be doing more harm than good. And if you eat red meat, fortified grains, or take protein powders, you may already be getting more iron than you need without realizing it. Iron seems like a basic mineral, but for seniors, it can quietly overload your system, damage organs, and accelerate the exact diseases you're trying to avoid. If it's in your multivitamin and you don't absolutely need it, take it out now before it builds into something far more dangerous. Number 1. Calcium in high-dose supplement form. Calcium is supposed to protect your bones. That's what most seniors have been told for decades. But here's the shocking truth. High-dose calcium supplements are now strongly linked to heart attacks, strokes, and deadly blood clots in people over 65. The calcium doesn't go where it's supposed to. It builds up in your arteries, hardens vessel walls, and turns into calcified plaque that can trigger a fatal event. And yet millions of older adults are still taking 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams per day, thinking they're doing the right thing. In a massive 2012 study published in Heart, researchers tracked over 24,000 people aged 35 to 64 for more than a decade. Those who regularly took calcium supplements had an 86% increased risk of heart attack compared to those who got calcium from food alone. Another study in JAMA Internal Medicine followed 10,000 women over 65 and found that calcium supplementation was associated with a 22% increased risk of stroke, particularly in women also taking vitamin D. The problem lies in how calcium behaves once it's inside the bloodstream without enough vitamin K2 to guide it. Instead of going to the bones, it latches onto arteries and builds up. What's even more concerning is that calcium supplements are usually taken in the morning, when cortisol levels are high and blood vessels are stiffest. That timing increases the risk of clot formation and arterial pressure spikes. And most of these supplements don't include K2, magnesium, or boron, minerals that help shuttle calcium into bones and out of arteries. Without them, calcium becomes a ticking time bomb for your heart. If you're over 65, the safest way to get calcium is through whole foods. Leafy greens, broccoli, almonds, and small portions of dairy provide the calcium your body can absorb more slowly and safely. And if your doctor insists on a supplement, always pair it with K2 and magnesium, and never take more than 500 milligrams at a time. Your bones don't need massive doses. They need balance. Calcium has been marketed as a must-have for seniors, but the science now says otherwise. What was once thought to protect your health might be doing the exact opposite. If you're still taking high-dose calcium supplements, especially without K2, you're not helping your bones, you're clogging your arteries, and that's a risk no senior can afford to ignore. Now let's shift gears and reveal the 4 essential vitamins every senior should be taking daily, starting with number 4, a powerful nutrient that most older adults are dangerously low in without even knowing it. Number 4, vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 might be one of the most important nutrients you've never heard of. It's completely different from K1, which helps your blood clot. K2, on the other hand, tells your body where to put calcium. And for seniors, that function is critical. Without enough K2, calcium drifts into the arteries and causes plaque buildup. But when K2 is present, it redirects calcium into the bones, where it belongs. That single role makes K2 essential for anyone over 65 who wants to protect both their heart and their skeleton at the same time. A 2015 study in thrombosis and hemostasis found that seniors who consumed K2 daily had a 57% lower risk of arterial calcification and a 26% lower chance of dying from cardiovascular disease compared to those who didn't. The mechanism is simple. K2 activates a protein called matrix GLA protein, which sweeps calcium away from soft tissues. Without it, calcium gets stuck. With it, your body knows what to do. And the more calcium you take in, from food or supplements, the more K2 you need to balance it out. K2 is found in small amounts in fermented foods like natto, aged cheeses, and egg yolks. But the levels are often too low to meet your daily needs, especially if you're already on calcium or vitamin D. That's why many experts now recommend a supplement of K2 in the MK7 form, which stays in the blood longer and works more efficiently. The typical dose is 90 to 180 micrograms per day, but always check with your doctor if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, as K2 can interfere with clotting medications. For seniors worried about fractures, heart health, or long-term circulation problems, K2 is a quiet protector working behind the scenes. It doesn't just support strong bones. It actively keeps your arteries flexible and your blood vessels clean. And in a world where calcium overload is more common than calcium deficiency, that one balancing vitamin might be the difference between staying strong and slowly shutting down. Number 3, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is one of the most important vitamins for seniors and also one of the most commonly missed. After age 65, your stomach produces less acid, which makes it harder to absorb B12 from food. That decline leads to a dangerous deficiency that shows up as fatigue, memory loss, tingling in the hands and feet, and even depression. But what makes B12 essential isn't just how it supports your energy. It plays a major role in red blood cell production, nerve repair, and brain health. Without it, everything from your mood to your balance to your heart can start to decline. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 4,000 seniors for over 5 years. Those with low B12 levels had a twofold increase in cognitive decline and a 35% higher risk of developing neuropathy compared to those with healthy levels. Even more alarming, many of the participants didn't even realize they were deficient because symptoms were gradual, subtle, and often mistaken for normal aging. But once B12 levels were restored, participants reported sharper thinking, better coordination, and a return of physical energy they hadn't felt in years. B12 is found naturally in meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. But even if you eat those foods, age-related absorption issues make it hard to get enough. That's why seniors are often advised to take B12 in the form of methylcobalamin, which is more bioavailable and easier to absorb. Sublingual tablets, sprays, or even B12 injections are all options depending on your needs and levels. The typical supplement dose ranges from 500 to 1,000 micrograms per day, but some seniors need more, especially if they're on acid blockers or metformin, which further reduce B12 absorption. For seniors experiencing fatigue, confusion, or numbness in the extremities, B12 is one of the first things to check. It supports blood flow, nerve health, and brain function all at once. And because deficiency is so common, yet so easy to fix, this is one vitamin that should never be ignored. If you want to stay mentally sharp, physically steady, and emotionally stable, B12 should be a permanent part of your daily routine. Number 2. Magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most critical and most overlooked nutrients for seniors. It regulates over 300 essential functions in your body, including nerve signals, heart rhythm, blood sugar control, and muscle contraction. But as you age, your ability to absorb magnesium decreases, and medications like diuretics, PPIs, and blood pressure pills make the deficiency worse. What's most concerning is that nearly 80% of seniors are magnesium deficient, and most don't know it. The symptoms, muscle cramps, insomnia, anxiety, high blood pressure, are often written off as normal aging. But they're not. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience tracked magnesium intake in adults over 60 and found that those with adequate levels had a 41% lower risk of stroke, a 35% lower chance of developing type 2 diabetes, and fewer nighttime leg cramps, memory issues, and arrhythmias. Magnesium also plays a key role in regulating calcium inside the blood vessels. Without enough magnesium, calcium can build up and stiffen your arteries. That means even if you're avoiding high-dose calcium supplements, you're still at risk if magnesium is missing from your daily intake. Magnesium is found in foods like spinach, almonds, black beans, and pumpkin seeds. But even with a healthy diet, it's hard to get enough, especially if you have digestive issues or are on medication. That's why many seniors benefit from a daily magnesium supplement, ideally in the glycinate or citrate form. These are easier on the stomach and more absorbable than magnesium oxide, which is commonly sold but poorly utilized by the body. A typical dose ranges from 200 to 400 milligrams per day, depending on your diet and health needs. Magnesium helps calm your nervous system, relax your blood vessels, and regulate your heartbeat. It supports deeper sleep, steadier energy, and healthier bones, especially when paired with vitamin D and K2. For seniors struggling with high blood pressure, poor sleep, frequent cramps, or anxiety, magnesium might be the missing link. It's not just another supplement, it's a foundation for how your entire body functions. And after 65, that foundation needs daily support. Number 1. Vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 isn't just a bone vitamin. It's a total health command center, especially after 65. It controls immune strength, muscle function, bone density, and even your brain's ability to stay sharp. But as you age, your skin produces far less vitamin D from sunlight, and your kidneys don't convert it as efficiently. That leads to a slow, silent drop in your levels, one that leaves you more vulnerable to infection, fatigue, falls, and even memory loss. And here's the kicker. Over 80% of seniors are deficient in D3 and don't even know it. In a landmark 2021 study published in the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, seniors who supplemented with D3 daily had a 34% lower risk of early death, a 46% reduction in falls, and a 30% improvement in immune response, especially during flu and virus season. Other studies show that adequate D3 can lower blood pressure, protect against depression, and even improve muscle recovery after minor injury or illness. It's not just about bones anymore. It's about staying alive, alert, and strong. The best source of vitamin D3 is sunshine. But after 65, most seniors don't get enough exposure or can't convert it efficiently. That's why D3 supplements are critical. Look for cholecalciferol, the active form of D3 your body can use right away. The typical dose for seniors is between 1,000 and 2,000 international units per day, but many require more depending on their blood levels. Always pair D3 with magnesium and K2 for better absorption and to make sure the calcium it regulates goes into your bones, not your arteries. If you've been dealing with fatigue, mood swings, balance problems, or constant colds, low D3 might be the culprit. It supports every system in your body, from bones to brain to immune health. And fixing the deficiency is fast, safe, and affordable. For seniors who want strength, resilience, and longevity, D3 isn't optional. It's your daily defense against decline. Now you know. Some vitamins are quietly helping you live longer, while others, still sold to millions of seniors, are slowly putting your health at risk. After 65, it's not about taking more. It's about taking the right ones, in the right form, at the right time. The difference could mean more energy, stronger bones, a sharper brain, or a silent heart attack that no one saw coming. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these vitamins do you take daily? Which vitamin on this list shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. We're reading and replying to everyone, and if you want more real, science-backed health videos made for seniors, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Because staying healthy after 65 isn't luck, it's knowledge and action. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Also share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.